The lure of the unknown. In the year 2478, humanity had spread across the stars like wildfire, colonizing planets, forging alliances, and occasionally butting heads with alien species who thought they owned the galaxy. But for Alex Rivera, a grizzled human mechanic from the orbital shipyards of New Terra, life was about wrenches, plasma conduits, and the occasional bar brawl. At 42, with a cybernetic arm from a nasty reactor accident and a penchant for cheap synth whiskey, Alex wasn't the type to chase adventure. He fixed things, starships, mostly, and that was enough. But even mechanics need a break. After a grueling 6-month stint repairing the USS Vanguard after it limped back from a skirmish with the Zarathian fleet, Alex's boss had shoved a mandatory vacation voucher in his hand. Go relax, Rivera. You're no good to me burned out. The voucher was for Elysara Prime, a resort world famous for its bioluminescent beaches, floating casinos, and, most intriguingly, its network of alien caves. Elysara was a neutral planet, a playground for the galaxy's elite, where humans rubbed shoulders with tentacled vexery, crystalline shardlings, and the aloof, bird-like avians. Alex wasn't thrilled. Beaches? Casinos? He'd rather tinker with an engine core, but the caves, those piqued his interest. Ancient, carved by some long-extinct civilization, they were said to hold secrets buried in crystal formations and echoing chambers. Fine, he muttered, packing his toolkit, just in case, along with a battered old holonovel and his favorite multi-tool. Holiday it is. The shuttle from New Terra dropped him on Elysara's equatorial landing pad, where the air hummed with the scent of exotic flora and the chatter of a dozen languages. Alex checked into a modest eco-lodge near the cave entrances, a dome-shaped structure woven from living vines that glowed softly at night. His room overlooked the azure sea, but he ignored it, opting instead for a guided tour of the caves the next morning. The guide was a vexery named Slith, a squid-like being with 8 tentacles and a translator implant that made his voice sound like bubbling water. "Welcome, fleshy ones," Slith announced to the group of tourists, mostly humans and a few avians. The caves of Thaler are a marvel. Formed eons ago by the Precursors, they span kilometers underground. Stick to the paths, or risk the void. Alex rolled his eyes. Precursors was code for we don't know who built this crap. As the group descended via anti-grav lift, the air grew cooler, laced with minerals. Bioluminescent fungi lit the way, casting eerie blue glows on jagged walls. Stalactites dripped with iridescent water, and distant echoes suggested hidden depths. The tour was standard: oohs and ahs at crystal geodes, a lecture on geological history, and a warning about unstable sections. But Alex's mechanics I spotted anomalies, faint metallic veins in the rock that didn't match natural formations. "Hey, Slith," he asked during a break. "Those lines look engineered. Any digs here?" Slith's tentacles quivered. "Ah, curious human. Yes, artifacts found, but caves mostly unexplored. Dangers abound, collapses, gas pockets. We stay safe." Alex nodded, but his mind raced. After the tour ended, he slipped away from the group, his curiosity overriding common sense. Armed with a headlamp, scanner from his toolkit, and a ration bar, he ventured into an unmarked side tunnel. The path narrowed, the glow fading. His boots crunched on loose gravel, and the air thickened with dust. Hours passed, or was it minutes? Time blurred underground. Alex's scanner pinged erratically, detecting energy signatures faint but persistent. "What the hell?" he muttered, pushing deeper. The tunnel opened into a vast chamber, walls shimmering with quartz. In the center, half buried in rubble, was a structure that made his heart skip: a ship. Not just any ship, an ancient one, its hull pitted and overgrown with crystal incrustations. Alex approached cautiously, his cybernetic arm whirring as he scanned it. The design was unfamiliar, sleek, angular, with runes that resembled Precursor script. "No way," he breathed. His scanner dated the alloy, 3,718 years old. A lost ship, entombed in these caves for millennia. As he circled it, a low hum emanated from within. The ship was alive, barely. Alex's mechanic instincts kicked in. "Holiday's over," he grinned. "Time to fix something old." But as he touched the hull, a panel hissed open, revealing a dark interior. And from the shadows, eyes glowed. Alien eyes, watching him echoes of the ancients. Alex froze, his hand hovering over the multi-tool. The eyes, multiple pairs, blinked in the dim light filtering from his headlamp. They weren't hostile, at least not yet. Shapes emerged, small, humanoid figures, no taller than his waist, with translucent skin that shimmered like the cave walls. Their bodies were adorned with crystalline growths, as if the caves had claimed them over time. What are you? Alex asked, his voice echoing. One stepped forward, its movements fluid, almost ethereal. It raised a hand, and a holographic interface materialized in the air, a swirl of symbols that his translator implant struggled to decode. Finally, words formed in his mind. Intruder or savior. Alex blinked. Telepathia. Neither. I'm Alex, human mechanic. On holiday. Stumbled in here. The being tilted its head. We are the Remnants. Guardians of the Arcara. This vessel crashed here 3,718 cycles ago. Our ancestors fled the Great Cataclysm. Alex pieced it together. The Precursors. Legends spoke of an advanced race wiped out by a cosmic disaster. This ship, the Arcara, must have been an escape pod or scout vessel. Crashed? What happened? Images flooded his mind. A massive starship fracturing in hyperspace, debris scattering across worlds. The Arcara plummeted into Elysara's atmosphere, burrowing into the caves. The survivors adapted, merging with the crystal ecosystem. But the ship decayed, its core failing. We await repair. But none came. Until you. Me, I'm just a grease monkey. But Alex's eyes lit up. A 3,718-year-old ship, this was the ultimate fix-it project. He scanned the open panel, fried circuits, corroded power relays, but the core, a quantum singularity drive, was intact, just dormant. The Remnants watched as he worked, their telepathic hum providing snippets of history. They numbered only a dozen now, descendants of the original crew, sustained by the ship's life support and cave nutrients. Why not leave? Alex asked, splicing a wire with his cyberarm's precision laser. Bound to the Arcara, our essence tied to its matrix. Without power, we fade. Alex nodded. Humans had a saying, no man left behind. Or alien. In this case, he jury-rigged a bypass using parts from his toolkit, a human plasma coil fused with Precursor tech. Sparks flew, and the hum grew louder. Lights flickered on inside the ship. Gratitude. Human. But danger approaches. Alex paused. Danger. Scavengers, drawn by the energy surge. Outside, echoes of footsteps, no, slithering. Vexery raiders, or worse, shardling poachers who mined caves for crystals, uncaring of relics. Alex grabbed a loose conduit as a makeshift weapon. Bring it on. Humans don't back down. The first intruder burst in, a hulking shardling, crystalline spikes glinting. It charged, but Alex dodged, his mechanics' reflexes honed from zero-G repairs. He swung the conduit, shattering a spike. The Remnants aided, projecting illusions to confuse the foe. More came, a pack of 5. Alex fought dirty, using the cave's terrain, tripping one into a stalagmite, electrocuting another with exposed wiring. That's for messing with my holiday, he yelled, adrenaline pumping. The Remnants sealed the panel behind him as he retreated inside. That we need to get this bird flying, he panted. Agreed. But the core requires calibration. Time is short. As alarms blared, Alex dove into the engineering bay, a labyrinth of ancient tech. His HFY spirit ignited. Humans adapt, improvise, overcome, awakening the beast. Inside the Arcara, time warped. The ship's interior was a marvel. Corridors lined with holographic displays, chambers filled with cryopods, empty now, save for the Remnants, and a bridge overlooking a virtual starfield. Alex marveled at the tech, far beyond human standards, yet familiar in its mechanical logic. The Remnants guided him to the core chamber, a spherical room pulsing with faint energy. This singularity drive, Alex said, scanning it. It's like a black hole in a bottle. Insane power, but unstable. Yes, the crash damaged the containment field. Repair it, and we soar. Alex rolled up his sleeves. Using his toolkit and scavenged parts, he began. First, realigning the quantum emitters, delicate work, his cyberarm steadying his human hand. Sweat beaded as the ship shook from external assaults. The scavengers were blasting the hull. Tell me about your people, Alex said to distract himself. The lead remnant, whom he dubbed Crystal for lack of a better name. Shared visions, a utopian empire spanning galaxies, felled by a rogue AI that turned their own tech against them. The Ark era was one of many arcs, lost in the Exodus. Humans have our own apocalypses, Alex replied. Earth wars, AI uprisings we survived because we're stubborn bastards. Stubborn? A virtue. The repair progressed, 30%, 50%. But a surge fried a relay. Damn, Alex improvised, hot-wiring his own arm's power cell to bridge the gap. Pain shot through him, but he gritted. Pain's just weakness leaving the body. 80%. The ship rumbled to life, systems booting. But the scavengers breached a side panel. Fights spilled inside, shardlings clashing with Remnants' psychic barriers. Alex grabbed a plasma torch, joining the fray. He welded a door shut on one attacker, then vented atmosphere to suck another out. Get off my ship, he roared, embodying HFY grit. 95%. Crystal warned, core overload imminent. Evacuate. No way. We're finishing this. 100%. The singularity ignited, a vortex of light. The Ark era lifted, cracking the cave's ceiling. As they burst free, the planet's surface awaited in a fleet of scavenger ships, in orbit, humanity's echo. The Ark era soared into Elysara's sky, debris trailing. Alarms screamed shields at 20%, weapons offline. The scavenger fleet, a ragtag armada of shardling cruisers, locked on. Options, Alex yelled from the bridge, straps holding him as G-forces pulled. Crystal's form glowed. Weapons charging. But we are outnumbered. Alex grinned. Outnumbered? That's human specialty that he patched into controls, his mechanic mind adapting fast. The Arkera's arsenal. Phase cannons, singularity torpedoes. But power was low. The lead cruiser fired, rocking them. Alex dodged, using cave knowledge, skimming low over mountains for cover. Divert power to engines, he commanded. The Remnants complied, telepathically syncing. A chase ensued, through canyons, over seas. Alex's tactics shone, faking a stall to lure pursuers close, then unleashing a torpedo that warped space, crumpling two ships. How? Crystal asked. Humans think outside the box. Or black hole, in this case. The fleet dwindled, but the flagship remained, a behemoth with tractor beams. It snared them. Boarding parties incoming. Alex armed himself with a Precursor rifle, intuitive, firing energy bolts. Invaders poured in, shardlings, vexery mercenaries. Chaos, laser fire, psychic blasts. Alex fought like a demon, his cyberarm punching through armor, the rifle mowing down foes. A shardling warlord cornered him. Human pest. This relic is ours. Alex laughed. Relics? This is family. He triggered a core pulse, repelling the boarders. With the warlord defeated, the flagship retreated. The Ark era, free, jumped to hyperspace. Days later, at a neutral station, Alex parted ways. The Remnants, revitalized, set course for lost kin. You saved us, Alex Rivera. Humanity's fire burns bright. Alex shrugged. Just doing my job. Holiday's over, back to fixing ships. But as he watched them go, he knew. Humans weren't just survivors. They were the spark that reignited stars.